I'm the underdog with the heroic heart. I'm Eric Jones Jr. I have to keep pushing for my kids. If I give up, what's that leave them with? Nothing. I have to understand that it's bigger than me. That it's not about me when I wake up and go to work. It's not about me when I'm reading to educate myself. It's not about me when I'm practicing my speeches. It's not about me. It's about my family. Hey, you're now tuned in to Underdog Talk. I'm your host, Eric Jones Jr., the underdog with a heroic heart, and I have conversations with successful underdogs. And today, I have a special guest all the way from Peru. Raf Duran? Is that how you say your name? I don't want
Yeah,
to.
that's proper.
Okay, okay. I don't like messing people's names up. How are you doing today, sir?
Yeah, I'm doing great, man. Doing awesome.
That's good. So before we get into our conversation, today's episode is brought to you by Christian Duran, Positive Energy Through Your Clothes. It's my personal brand. You can get t-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts. If you use the promo code Underdog Talk, Underdog is spelled UNDERDAWG Talk, you'll get 15% off. We have stuff for kids, we have stuff for adults, we have stuff for everyone. So go check out the website and grab something and support the brand. All right, so we're gonna get into today's conversation, and we're gonna start off with how was life growing up?
Yeah, man. So growing up was pretty interesting. I grew up. I was living with my mom, my dad, my brother, and basically, it was everything. Everything was like seemed quite normal until I was around the age of 12. There was like a pivot point in my life where my dad and my mom pretty much got divorced, and that really like put me on a whole different path, because I was kind of like doing I was pretty good at school. I was doing my schoolwork, and I was a good student and all that. I had good marks, but when my dad left, I kind of lost this like structure in my life, and I lost this desire to do well in school. And that's when really I started looking for um, what I really wanted, which was I really just wanted to make cash. And that was the main focus of my life, was like starting at that point was like, how can I make money? And I didn't feel like going to school was helping me in that direction. So that's when things went a bit south, to a little bit, to a certain degree, just because I didn't have really a role model, and I tried a lot of things, a lot of different things, the good and the bad, and yeah, it was that was the start of my journey on my own, in a way.
I understand, and I definitely understand parents divorcing because so my biological father he passed away when I was 4. So my sister's dad is my dad, and him and my mom got divorced. And I remember when he left, and it's a difference with having a man in the house. Definitely the same thing with my son. Me and his mom got divorced, so his behavior changed. He's a lot younger than 12, but his behavior changed, and you can tell those things. One thing I like what you said was you lost structure with your dad leaving, and that's very important for dads to hear and for people to hear that you give structure to your children because you have structure. So they're gonna follow your lead and whatever you're doing. But when you're not there, like you said, you were looking for stuff all over the place, good, bad. You were trying everything else, and you said you was trying to get to the bag. So when you were 12 years old, how are you making money at 12? How did you like start? Because I definitely didn't like school either, so I understand that. But how was you making money? How was you making your money at that age?
Yeah, so at that age, pretty much, you don't have too much option. I had a part-time job. My first job was at like a grocery store. But it's interesting because like I'm on the generation of like people that had access to obviously the internet, and so we see all of these other kids like having like such big success, so we don't really appreciate the little, like, even if it's good money for a child, to be honest, like making 10, $15 an hour. Like I don't have any expenses. My mom was paying rent and food, But because we see the other kids out there making, like, there's these outliers, having all these nice things, we don't really appreciate. So I didn't really appreciate having this little money. I want to make more. And that's when I got into the bad stuff. I committed some crime when I was younger, like stealing and selling weed and doing all that stupid stuff. But thankfully, I never was. I was arrested once, but I never went to the police. Like, I never had to go to the police station because, like, the police officer was good enough to let us go. And basically, like, I just got blessed along the way because I did some stupid things in my life, but never had to pay for them in terms of like having a criminal record or anything. But that was a constant battle because, like, imagine this: like, I didn't go to school, I didn't did my homework, I didn't go into any school after high school. Pretty much, I quit 6 months after. So the struggle of my life was really like, how do I make money? And I wanted to make it legally, but when you don't have a degree, you don't have like something tangible. Like, the only work that I could get was like in construction, restaurants, driving Uber, driving skip the dishes, working in grocery stores. Like, it was all the basic jobs. So like, it was really a struggle until like last year where I really had a breakthrough. But it was just a struggle, me working around the clock trying to make money legally because like, my mom put in my head that I should do that, and it's a great thing. Like, I have these certain set of values in my subconscious deeply anchored that I don't want to be going into the pretty much the dark side and doing the bad stuff. But it's a challenge because, like, you're trying to make money, you're working around the clock, but it doesn't really pay off because all these basic jobs don't, like, you can work around the clock as an Uber driver, you're never gonna get rich.
Definitely understand. So I definitely understand the the part time job as, a young person. I used to clean up like beach houses when I was like 14, and then the stealing and all that stuff. I definitely was a part of that. I just remember my mom telling me, "You better never go to jail for stealing." So I never went to jail for stealing. Not to say stealing is good, but definitely, like, when you don't go to jail necessarily, your karma comes back in other ways. And like sometimes you realize, man, this karma was from 10 years ago when I was doing stupid stuff, and it just backfires on you. So anytime you're doing something, if you're a young person listening, just understand whatever karma you giving out is the karma gonna give back to you, and it's gonna come back around in a different form than the way you gave it out, but it's gonna come back in the same energy that you gave out. Um, and you said no degree. I know how that is. You have no degree, supposed to go out here and get a job. They don't want to pay you nothing. Like, it's like, okay, why am I working for these people? So when it sounded like you went through a lot of different jobs, and when did it, like, the light bulb come on in your head, like, hey, I can do something else for myself and make more money off of doing that than working these jobs?
Yeah, so that was like on the back of my mind since I was like early 20s. Like, after, when I was like 21, at that point I was an Uber driver. And so this was like my freedom in a way because finally I didn't have to work for somebody. Like, as an Uber driver, I was making my own time. I was a hustler. Like, I want to make money. So, like, if I wanted to make some bank real quick, I could work 15-hour days for a week straight, make 1,500, 2K on some really good weeks. So, I mean, that was really good until it, like, you reach a point where, like, okay, I'm making okay money, but there's no next level. Like, that's when I was getting starting to get frustrated because I was still a slave to my Uber. Like, I had to work many long hours if I wanted to have good paychecks. And on top of that, Uber, like, over time is actually a job that was going down because, like, more people in my area, the people around started to hearing about the good money it was. So, like, the demand got, like, there was more drivers, and when there was more drivers that heard about this, then because there was more driver on the road, you make less money. So having this experience of, like, my wage going down and, like, working more to make less, just started to make me think like, okay, I need to figure something out. But it was hard because like I tried all these different online courses and I really didn't have success. So like I failed. Well, failed. I think it all led me to where I am, but like I struggled to figure my way for like another 4 years, where I was trying all these different business models, trying to figure out my way. But when it really started coming together, and when I found like something that really led me on a career path that now I'm on, that is allowing me to live really really well, to be honest, and is just allowing me to grow, is the moment I started. I took this job as a door to door salesman, and that was a turning point. And I did that last summer, actually, about a year and a month ago.
That's funny that you say that because the not the person. I think it was like two people ago. They told me they were a door salesman, and I used to be a door salesman. I used to sell Kirby vacuums, so I definitely know how that is. I think if you can be a door salesman and go to a stranger's house and be successful, like you can probably do anything because that's very difficult to do. And selling Kirby vac. So I did it in Bloomington, Indiana. So Bloomington, Indiana is a college town, and it's mainly Caucasians, and so it's kind of like you got some black guys coming to your door, knocking on your door, selling vacuums. You don't get too many yeses. So I learned a lot about hearing no from doing that job. So uh, one thing you said was it was no next level. And I think sometimes people have a job and they just work the job and they work the job and there's no next level to the job. There's no promotion, there's no raise. You just work the job and you just barely make it, or you're okay, you can pay your bills, but there's no next level. And when you have no next level, it's you can't grow, because even when you get to whatever your dreams are, you're going to have to grow again. You have to grow at each level that you get to. So I definitely like how you was like, man, I'm not going, not getting to the next level. I need to figure something out. And it starts at a certain point. It doesn't just happen, overnight. Like you said, it started when you were early 20s. How old are you now?
I'm 26 and about to turn 27 in 2 weeks.
Okay. Happy early birthday. So
Thanks.
you're still young. You're still young. So when you did the door salesman, how did you said it change things for you? How did it change things for you?
Yeah, so basically, I was like, there was a turning point, like a few years. I think it's a year before that. I hit rock bottom. Like I hit really rock bottom, like the lowest of the lows. Wanted to commit suicide, checked into an hospital, got put on medication to for a few days to calm me down, because like I really was in distress, because I felt like I tried everything and nothing worked out. Work myself to the bone, like morning till the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed, and I couldn't figure it out. So it was really frustrating. But I stood up. I went back to work. Got myself a job in construction. I built myself a little bit. Built a little bit of bank. I started a moving company with my buddy. But what I realized is that like it was really expensive where I was living in Vancouver, and so it was still a grind, like working a lot of hours doing the moving, and then I was doing delivery driving, and anyways, it was just a uh, it was just not. It didn't look like it was going to be sustainable, or I wasn't growing the way I wanted. So I saw this job. I saw this ad on Craigslist about the opportunity to sell door to door, and I had tried sales before, like in a car sales dealership, with no success. But I don't know, something was calling me, because telling me that like I could do it. There's no reason why I couldn't do this. And I took my shot. They said, you know what, let's do it. It was really intense and a very very transformative experience, because in Canada the way it works, like they take you around the country. So you're going for a whole summer for 6 months, and you're going from city to city, and they pay, well, you pay a preferred rate to stay at different hotels, but the income potential is really big because anytime you make a sale, you make $450. And so the goal was to make like a sale a day. I didn't really make that over the summer, but I probably made about an average of four or five sales a week. So it was still really good money, and also, like you mentioned earlier, like the lessons that you learn from going door to door is so profound. Like learning to talk to strangers, learning to hear no, get really uh, understanding that rejection has nothing to do with you, but it's just they're rejecting your offer. So you can pretty much become you become like someone that doesn't care anymore, and that's very powerful because right now, just like you're doing, you're starting your brand, you're starting your podcast. I'm doing my own thing too. I'm starting my own course, and like, of course, there's not going to be people from day one that are going to support you, or there's going to be very few, but like, because we went through this experience door to door, we understand like it's just a matter of time that we get our sale. So I feel like it kind of like gives you a new power to go through that experience.
Definitely does. And that $400 a sale definitely sounds good. It's like, okay, I need to make this sale. So you're doing that. You said you made, a couple sales, at least 4 or 5 a week. And what happens next? Are you still doing the
Yeah,
salesman, or you
yeah,
did you move on? What was that transformation point after that?
yeah. So right after that, like I knew I didn't want to do this anymore because I was selling a product I didn't believe in. So that was the thing. Like I didn't believe in the product I was selling, which was alarms system. I didn't believe that like everybody really needed that. So it was hard for me to sell it because I was the type of guy that doesn't like to. I don't. I stand by my values. Like I'm not gonna try to sell you something if I believe it. You don't need it. So I was literally knocking doors until we get. I'm sure you heard of that expression before, like the low hanging fruits, or like the yes man. Like I was literally just knocking doors until I get the person that was like wanted the product. So I wasn't really doing all the convincing and all that could allow me to get more sales, but that's just because my conviction wasn't there. So long story short, I knew I was like, okay, I don't want to sell this product anymore, but I freaking love sales. I love the fact that I'm more in control of my income in that and doing that. But the thing that was missing was the ability to be anywhere in the world. So that's when I knew about high ticket sales. I heard about it before. I tried to get into it before a few years back, but didn't work out. But at that point, I felt confident. I was like, okay, I just went through this experience of going door to door, knocking on 50 doors a day to get one sale. I know way more about sales than I used to before. So I said, you know what, I'm going to give this a shot again. I had a little bit of money saved, really like tiny bit. I didn't have enough to start this course that I found online, but I just went for it anyways. I took a high interest loan to the reason, by the way, I didn't have cash is because like I spent it on like a computer. I bought a brand new phone. Like it's not like I was suffering, but it's just like I spent my money, and I didn't think that at the end of the summer I would have this expense to start this course. But anyways, I started the course. I just went for it. Like I went through the modules. I practiced. I just went all in with this for a month straight, and then I got placed with an offer. And now it's been 7 months that I had the blessing of working, doing sales online. And so I'm doing what's called appointment setting, which is the position before being a high ticket closer. And just now, actually, tomorrow, I have my very first sales call. I just got promoted as a junior closer in my company.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
No problem. And I love what you said. I don't want people to miss. You said you didn't believe in the product, but the thing was it didn't stand by your values. Sometimes we do stuff and it doesn't align with our values. It doesn't align with our beliefs, and we just do it. And you don't have the same energy as if you were doing something that you had value in, or that added value to you, or that you believed in, or your morals. So that's very important. And you understood, like, yeah, I really can't rock with this, but I like sales. And then you say you went back to something that you had did previously, and you was like, skip it, I'm going all in. I'm gonna take out a loan. I'm gonna just go ahead and do it, and I know I'll get my money back. And a lot of people won't do that. We'll take a loan out to pay something that's not important, but we won't take it out to help us to better our life, to upgrade, to go to the next level. And you said you did it for a month straight, and 7 months, you've moved up. And that's awesome. So what is um high ticketing sales? What is that? Can you explain that for us in like
For
layman's
sure.
terms?
So right now, like especially with COVID, we've seen like a huge growth in that industry. Basically, high ticket sales is just a term for sales that are happening online, that are for a product that is a value of $4,000 or more. So it could be so many different industries. So you could be working, for example, for a marketing agency. You could be working for a coaching program that helps people with their marriage. You could be working for a coaching program that helps people build coaching programs. For example, that's what I'm the offer that I'm on right now. And you could be working for a company that teaches people how to set up their Amazon store. So it's just to show you there's so many different offers out there online, but it's just that when the product is of a ticket of high ticket of a value of $4,000 or more, people will usually not just buy by going online and checking your website. They need to communicate with a human. And so high ticket sales is really just the position of being a consultant and communicating with prospects that are interested in your service, and then wrapping up the deal and closing the sale. So that's what it is.
Mm, I love it. I love it. You said it can't be less than 4,000. And so, um, what is your goal with doing this? Where do you see yourself in? You got a ebook, correct?
Yeah. So basically, for me, like it really changed my life. Like getting into this field has been such a blessing. Like I'm huge on faith. I believe that it doesn't matter which faith you have, but believing in a future that does not exist. And so one thing that I did when I'm personally not vaxxed for COVID. This is my personal belief. I didn't want to get vaccinated, but Canada did not allow travel starting November if you were not vaxxed. So I didn't have a job in November back last year. But what I did is that even if I had that loan, I was doing that course. I didn't have a job yet. I decided to take a one-way ticket to Peru before November. So on October 30th, I'm taking a plane to Peru. And then I think it's November 4th, I got hired to do the job that I'm doing now. Um, and so doing appointment setting, which is the position before high ticket sales, has really been a blessing for me because being paid in US dollars, even if I'm paid out my wage as an appointment setter is anywhere from like 3,000 to 7,000 on a good month. It's like I'm living like a king in Peru. So for me, like because I've been through this journey and because I've been through like 6 years myself of like trying to figure out how to make money online and figuring my way, and I finally did. I want to now serve other people and help them get into this space. But I think that one flaw that there is right now is that the course, for example, that I took was when I bought it was $8,400, and I don't think that everybody is willing to go and take a loan for that. So I'm coming up with a course that I want to make much more available for everybody, and that's why I wrote this ebook. And I want to help people get in this field for a price that is reasonable.
I love it, man. The first thing you said, you're huge on faith, and that's important. Like you said, everybody's faith is different, but you gotta believe in something, believe in yourself, believe in the future, and you gotta manifest it. You gotta say what you're gonna do, and I love that you understood. And see, it makes me think. Excuse me. It made me think that, like, when people they start at the entry level and then they become a manager or whatever the case, they get a high title and they forget that they were at that level and they treat people different or they act a certain way. You're doing the opposite. You remember, all right, hey, this course costs this amount of money. Everybody ain't got that amount of money. Everybody ain't taking out a loan for that. So let me be able to still kind of do the same exact course, but make it, more affordable to help people out and to serve people. And that's kudos to you because a lot of people don't do that. Everybody, a lot of people out there for the bag. They want the money, but you're here to serve and you understand when you serve, the bag will return to you. So I love that. Tell a little more about the ebook. You don't have to go all into it. Just tell a little bit about it, and then how people can get the ebook.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, the ebook is like I priced it as you name your price. So what that means is that you can get it for free if you want. You can give me $1. You can give me $10. However much you want to put the price on, you can get it. It's a very short read. It's just to share with you about a little bit more about this position, this opportunity, why I think it's such a blessing, and I think that like not only that is it's a really easy entry level job. Reality is that I believe if you follow a proven process, you could get the skill set. You could learn how to get started. You could know enough so you can start working in this field in less than 7 days. Like it's really not that hard. It's a matter more of having a good work ethic, a good consistency, and like the skill set itself is not that hard. What's hard is going to be on your mental, your mindset, your ability to deal with the waves of sales, of the ups and downs of not having a steady paycheck if you're not used to that. But the rewards are incredible. Even as a setter, like I'm doing interviews of my different friends in the industry. You can watch on my Instagram, on my YouTube, on my Facebook. You can see like the average wage. Like people make anywhere from $3,000-4,000 a month, and like in the on the high end, $7,000-10,000 a month just in that position. On the very low end, if you get a job that's not great, you can start at like 1,500. But my friends right now are making anywhere from 3 to 4 thousand as well. So not only that is that you work yourself, and you're like, I mean, you work your if you work that position, you do your job properly. You perform because it's a performance job. It's not a per hour job. It's a performance job. You perform well, and then a normal progression in that industry is 6 to 12 months. You're being raised as a high ticket closer, and the high ticket closer can earn anywhere from 5,000 a month on the very low end to upwards of $30,000 a month.
That sounds like something that people should be interested in because I think sometimes people don't know their purpose. They, money's hard, and it's something that can, open doors for you by working with other people, networking, different things of that sort. So definitely, how can people get the ebook?
Yeah, I have a link. I guess you can put it on your podcast, or you can just go find me Uber Dreamer on Instagram, and then you click on my link tree, and you'll have all the links available for my ebook, my course, my YouTube channel. All of that is on my Instagram.
I love it. So give people 3 tips of something they can do right now when it comes to high ticketing sales. How they, what 3 things? I know one thing for sure. I don't know if this was going to be your answer, but get the ebook. That sounds like that sounds like that's the first thing. But practical steps. Maybe they don't know what it is. Haven't got into it, but something that can help them once they hear the episode.
Yeah. Okay, for sure. So yeah, getting a job in this field is really a networking game. So that's what I understood is that you want to build a network. That's the first thing, and the way to do that is by connecting with people like me, joining groups on Facebook. There's a tons of them out there. Um, that's the first thing I would say. The second thing would be I seen, because I've been to this training and I seen people having success. I seen people not having success. I seen people having success in a longer period of time than others. And what I think also, like, one of the key thing is to have an open mind, because um, if you don't believe it's possible, you're gonna self sabotage. And that's why I think I didn't figure it out the first time around. Like, I tried to get into high ticket sales 2 years prior to what I did when I did last year, and I had a bad experience, and then I quit. And the reason why is because you know I think it was a lack of faith. So I think I would associate that to faith, having a belief that, like, it's gonna work out for you. You want to make a commitment, and then you want to stick to it, even if it doesn't seem to work out the way you want it to work out. You have to stick to the path if you want the results. So yeah, first thing would be, yeah, get a great network. Second thing, if you're gonna commit and have faith that it's gonna work out, and don't give up. And then what could be a third one? Third one would be, yeah, just knowing that, like, anything takes time, and so, like, it's all about consistency, and that's with anything. I think that that's just a general tip for success in anything that you want. Like, it's just about putting the consistent work and consistently moving forward every day, doing your best. And if every day you're doing your best, you're getting a little bit better. And it's over time that this stacks up. Like, if you do that every day, at some point you'll be an expert, you'll be really good at what you do. So it's just having that mentality of, like, look, I'm gonna stick to this, I'm gonna learn, I'm gonna stick to this, I'm gonna keep going. And there's just no way it doesn't work out if you approach it like this.
I love it. I love it. I love those three tips. So I always ask guests to give me an underdog quote. It could be a quote that you live by, a quote that you heard, just something that can change someone's perspective on life, or whatever the case may be.
I would say it's just something I came up with. I don't know if somebody said it before, but if you never give up, you can never fail.
I wish I had the little mic drop sound, because that is it's simple. If you never gave up, you never fail. I love it. Let the listeners know how they can get in touch with you, and what do you have moving forward.
100%. So yeah, basically, if you're interested on the getting on that path, I would love to assist you. Right now is an exciting time because I'm just getting started with my course. I got two people jobs so far. I literally got started a couple weeks ago. A third one is doing an interview right now. And so my goal is to get 5 case studies. So if somebody's serious, I'm willing to help you out for free if you in exchange of a case study at the end, because that's gonna obviously allow me to reach more people. So yeah, you can definitely reach me on Instagram at Uber Dreamer. So that's Uber, like the company Uber, and then Dreamer. And then you can find me, on. I'm sure you can drop some links below on my on of my ebook. You can get that. And Yeah, I think that's the best way to reach me. And then I also have a Facebook group where I'm having all my friends who are setters, closers in the industry, recruiters. Also, I'm gonna add to the group, and I'm gonna build a community for people that want to get started and find work.
Love it, man. I love it. Um, I think I'm gonna name the episode Uber Dreamer because I think that's catchy. Like, very catchy. Um, you can reach me at underdogtalk at gmail.com if you got any comments, if you want to be a guest. I take positive comments, negative comments. I love feedback. Um, Underdog Talk podcast on Facebook and on Instagram. And thank you again for being on the show, man. Uh, I love the episode because you told your story and then you explained what high ticketing sales was and you broke it down and you let people know about your ebook and how you can help them out. And I kudos to you for serving and being able to do a case. You know, it works out for you by doing a case study, but you're actually helping someone out and probably changing their life because of the money that they're going to make. So that's really dope. Again, I appreciate you for being on, and it's really dope because you're across the country. So it's just dope to be able to talk to people all over the world. Like you said earlier, networking is, you know, you got to build your network.
Amazing, Eric. I appreciate you having me on the show.
No problem. You got any closing words?
Any what? Closing words?
Yeah.
Believe in yourself, man. It's gonna work out. Even if it seems like a dark time, I think that I took that from my current company I'm working with. One of my bosses, Dean DeVries, keeps saying, you know, if it's like if you're going to I'm gonna butcher that, but like imagine a bow. Imagine a bow. To shoot the arrow as far as possible, you gotta pull on the string. So sometimes going back and going deep is actually just to take a step back so you can propel yourself even further.
I love it. And on that note, peace, one love.